Hello and welcome to another Near Running Cast. As always, my name is Jono, and I'm joined once again by Andy 610 Parsons. No, that's your name, Andy 610 Parsons, yeah. I thought I'd bug it up. How are you doing? How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing alright.
Good. And in this, our very 50th video on this Near Running Grid channel.
50.
Yeah, that's right. We have an all Oxford matchup, goddammit. We have on the left Brendan, long time destroyer of Reading, piloting NEH, and on the right Stu, a more recent destroyer of Reading, piloting Noise. So these guys are both from Oxford. They're good mates. They play a lot against each other. They also have identical IDs and almost identical decks. So this will be a bit of a mirror match.
But it should be good.
Yeah. Have you played against either of these guys?
Yeah, I've played against both of them. Played against Brendan a bit more regularly than against Stu, but both very good players. And both very good with their decks, knowing what they need to do to get the best out of them and get the victory points.
Have you played against Brendan's NEH?
I haven't actually played against Brendan's NEH. The last couple of times I played against him, it's either been RP, or I think it might have even been one of the games would have been a HB one.
Yeah, he's played a bit of HB in the past as well. In that case, I can tell you, Stu will know. This deck is Butcher Shop. So I always say you need to find out as quickly as possible which one it is, which flavour of NEH it is. This one's Butcher Shop. So, and Stu will know this. So he needs to be very careful with economy.
Yep.
And with accesses, cards like Imp might be able to protect him from accidental accesses. It's an interesting decision for Noise because it means you need to time your archives runs, I suppose.
Oh, very much so.
Especially with Jackson on the table, because Jackson can whisk away all but one agenda, like the too good to be true, or whatever it may happen to be.
Yeah.
That is the one you absolutely don't want to steal. Stu, on the other hand, does have wild side set up, so he's got an early wild side,
and that will be useful against protecting himself.
It will, yeah. He has Faust. I don't know if this deck revolves around Faust, but I think Faust is a pretty major part of it. So it's good that he's got that. It's all 2 Lampreys as well, so that's... I mean, we mentioned previously, Lamprey is just a cheap virus.
Yep.
It's good in Noise, even if you don't plan to use it in a kind of headlock strategy. Hasn't he made a run? Should he have? I mean, you could say no.
It's hard to know whether he's sort of what he's waiting for to feel safe enough to run. He's obviously trying out HQ there. Brendan's icing everything up, which is quite interesting for an NEH build.
Yeah, it is.
But not R&D.
Not R&D, which you'd think would be quite dangerous.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's possible that maybe one of them is a Jackson, and he feels he should defend a Jackson, for instance. Maybe maybe one's an agenda because he's just trying to rush it out. He's running this third remote, rather, I should say. Stu's running this third remote on click 3. He lost click 1 to Wildside, and obviously checked HQ. So Brendan's deciding if he's res. He does. Oh, so it's Enigma. Okay, so Enigma's a good ice to res in that position.
Yeah, definitely.
It costs him in his turn, basically.
And a clock goes in the bin.
Clock in the bin, so that might be relevant, yeah. It's unlikely he's got more than one in the deck, but he'll have clone ships. So an Astro ship was behind the Enigma. Okay, so he's gone fairly rush.
Yeah.
Do you think that he might have... Do you think Brendan has mid-seasons in hand and wasn't too worried about losing the Astro? He doesn't have a large credit advantage.
Potentially, yes. I haven't spotted it there, but yeah, I think it could be a situation that's a win-win. Certainly, scoring the Astro early will put enormous pressure onto Stu to try and disrupt the train before it heads out of the station.
I guess having said that, Brendan plays Noise, and he'll play a deck very like Stu's Noise deck a lot, and I'd say he probably plays Noise more than NEH, so he's probably very comfortable in Noise, which means that he probably understands a lot of what Stu's thinking, and he probably knows a lot of the weaknesses. And I'd say one of Noise's weaknesses can be early rush, because there's going to be almost no tutoring.
Yes.
You very rarely see Noise decks with things like Jin nowadays, and you're not going to see SMCs or anything like that.
No.
So it's going to be it can be a totally viable strategy to take the risk stick an Astro out behind an Enigma and just hope he hasn't got. I guess it'd be Faust in hand. It might be Yogg.
Or Yogg, yeah.
So, if you're Stu, do you worry that there's another agenda behind that Enigma? It's probably not another Astro, because I guess you just score it.
Straight out. Though, there is a clone chip down, and obviously Clot is in the bin.
That's true. Yeah.
I think...
So he's discarded a traffic accident as well.
It might have been a mill.
Oh, yes, it was probably mill. So you're right. Of course.
If I was Stu, I'd be trying to work out how I was going to think about start getting into places, whether I needed to be making sure, he's got an adjusted chronotype there to try and help wild side out.
Extra clicks.
And I think it's that stabilisation. It was a Jackson behind the Enigma, which is good for Stu.
So what do we think is in this second remote? That also hasn't been raised. Another Jackson maybe, or a Sansan.
It could be a Sansan. It might be a CVS that
that'd be good.
Brendan's saving for if Stu decides to do a medium dig, something like that, or try and blow up a piece of ice that he wants to protect.
Yeah, that is fair.
I'd imagine there's going to be some parasites around at some point.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. So this clone chip, if you're Stu, I feel like you wouldn't want to use the clone chip for a Clot. You'd rather use it for a Parasite, I guess, or maybe a Cash. It's a bit of a stretch, but
or an Imp.
Something like an Imp would be good, if you're about to get into HQ, that kind of thing. So Street Peddler as well. I mean, you never know what's on a Street Peddler. Faust will definitely help then. Yeah. So suddenly all the ice becomes breakable. So wraparound. I mean, it is breakable, but
at great cost.
You don't want to break it.
And particularly if Stu knows that this is a butcher shop deck, you don't want to be selling 4 cards to...
Yeah, you don't want to go down to 1 card. I mean, for all we know, that card in the second remote is a breaking news, right?
Exactly. I mean,
it could easily be. It's just hanging out there. There's no risk if it gets stolen for now.
If it is a breaking news, do you think that it's worth Brendan using it to get rid of some of Stu's resource economy?
Yeah, it's possible. I'd say the one you'd go after is probably Aesop's.
Yeah.
I mean, Wildside feeds Faust, but because it's in faction, there's probably 3. Aesop, in fact, there's another one on that. Street Peddler by the look of it. So Aesop's, on the other hand, he might only have 2. In fact, I'm going to look at his thing. He actually does have 3. Okay, so it's kind of a moot point. But you might have fewer because it's out of faction. Yeah, I think not. I think the breaking news is just for the kill.
Yeah.
If it is a breaking news, of course, I don't know. I mean, if you can get a breaking news, he could say double advance it and leave it over a turn, and then get if he's got traffic accident, scorching hand. He's got a 12 credit advantage at the moment, so if Stu does something stupid and steals an agenda, then mid-seasons could easily be his downfall. So trashing the pad, is that an interesting decision? I mean, it's an imp, but
it's tricky. I think it's always good to get rid of the asset economy for NEH. You can sort of take it for granted, this credit that's just trickling in over time. 4 credits is a huge swing. You don't really want to be paying that, particularly as noise. Whether you want to save the imp tokens for something more valuable. On the other hand, I'm sure there's going to be CVSs in Brendan's deck, and you don't want to save those imp tokens only for them to get purged away when you don't.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, that's true. Okay, so we have a second install in that remote. So I guess one of them's a Sansan.
Yep.
And maybe an agenda. It was not a click 1 install. It was a click 2 install. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, so it was a click 2 install. So let's see what he's got. So he's going to advance it on click 3. So I think he forgot that he's already installed, because he's offering Stu the opportunity to clot. So he does. So Clone Chip installs a clot, but okay, so yeah, so there was a bit of misplay. Brendan took an extra click there to install the ice. So possibly trying to bait out the clot? I don't know. He obviously forgot he'd installed that kind of new first remote during that turn. At any rate, it's an installed advanced card. It could easily be a bluff, knowing there was clot in the bin. Could it be a breaking news on a Sandstand?
Could be.
Or it could be an Astro or something. We'll see. I'll be interested to see if Stu can get in. I mean, Brendan seems he's pretty bold. He can afford a Sandstand res, that kind of thing. So yeah, let's see. I mean, I'm guessing maybe there's another wraparound on that remote.
Yeah, we've seen another wraparound coming through on R&D. So
Stu's going to waltz it up. So he's still got 4 clicks because of adjusted chronos on.
Yep.
He's got, I assume, 7 cars fast. I feel like you've got to run it as a priority, but maybe install. I don't know.
Ooh, no. Okay. David will help.
That'll help. Yeah. So if there is a wraparound, David will help. Is there a possibility? Oh, so he's going to run HQ. Okay. Is there a possibility it's a an NPD?
Yeah, could well be.
Okay, so we're going to install an imp from the street peddler just before accessing. So let's see what we get.
Did Brendan mill then?
That's a good question. I didn't see it. He might have done. He did not. Yeah, they forgot that imp is a virus, I guess. So let's see what they got. Let's see. Oh, you want to imp that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That's got to go.
So Stu's going to feel good about that. And Brendan will probably be annoyed. Interesting. Okay, so unfortunately he's now got no credits. So you don't feel good about him checking a remote. You should see.
Also, Brendan's, the credit swing is huge at the moment with 13 credits. He can sort of afford for Stu to come and run at him.
Yeah, he can res. I mean, so what if there's, I don't know, what if there's like a toll booth or something like that on that remote? I mean, he can res it and Stu's done.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why he's feeling quite confident. I feel like there's going to be some solution on that remote that Stu can't deal with.
Yeah. He must have
wraparound. Okay, so he can break a wraparound.
And he does.
And he does with David. So is it data run or something? Oh, it's data run. Okay. So, so Stu won't be able to clear the tag if he takes it. So in fact he jacks out, and he's going to check R&D on click 4. Yeah, interesting, because he could have got in.
Yeah, but then potentially eaten the tag.
Yeah, he would not be able to clear the tag. He would have 1 click left. So, I mean, and it depends what that is. I guess now I assume it's an agenda. He did kill the mid-season, so he's got to feel good about that, but it is only 1 tag. So,
yeah, but 1 tag that you don't clear by the end of your turn versus a butcher shop deck is still 1 too many.
But Brendan's only had 5 credits, so he couldn't traffic accident.
True.
He can only scorch once, so he's not going to kill. Oh, for an Astro, it's kind of worth it, right?
Okay.
Because you could clear it on your next turn. He might spend the turn trashing all your resources. That'd be annoying. But again, you're not dead.
Yes.
Yeah, and you haven't given up an Astro. There's now 2 Astro counts on the table.
Yep.
So breaking news is now click 1, give the runner 2 tags. Like, that's an option. So, yeah, the fact that he trashed that mid-season is not necessarily a big deal for Brendan anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. Having said that, I don't think it was the wrong decision to jack out. I think you don't want to take it. It's not just the taking tag during the run. It's the trace. The anytime tag.
Yeah.
So
and if he'd broken it with Faust as he could have, then
okay. Sure.
He's just getting rid of more cards from his hand.
Yeah. So future access is a more lucrative debt sucker, which meals. Yeah. Okay. So. Is Stu having some real economy issues? Or is it just me? I feel like he is. I mean, he's got the card economy going for Faust.
Yeah. He's getting stuff through for ASOPs, but he's just not building up enough credits to be able to do much more with it. And his runs are not being particularly productive, unfortunately.
Okay, so he's going to check archives, which is dangerous. Jackson takes it away, Cyberdex, yeah. You can't expect that by now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a great option to throw away if you're Brendan. Maybe you put it on the table. No, maybe you don't. There's a clock, but so it'll be interesting to see if the clock comes back.
Yeah.
Okay. So he doesn't get his data sucker tokens. I guess I think his imp was already blank.
Yeah.
But he'll sell it next turn, I guess. David as well. So there's a lot of candidates for ESOPs. He buys any old crap, doesn't he?
He does. What a sucker.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I like Side Feeder for what it's worth, actually. I think that's a nice install in noise, especially with so many one credit viruses like Lamprey and Cache and Data Sucker, and, you know. Oh, okay, so something
here we go.
So, okay, so breaking news off of
off 2 Astros.
Yeah. He's not had worse, so that's going to be Scorch. Yeah, okay, alright. Sorry, Noise. Your house got blown up. So, yeah. I don't know. It's the Astros, right?
Yeah.
It's just, the card's too good.
It's insane.
Yeah. So, he rushed out the first Astro behind Enigma, which I like.
Yep.
I think that's a genuine weakness of Noise, is Noise cannot, unless he has the solution in hand.
Yep.
Which earlier he might not.
Or on a Street Peddler.
Yes, a Street Peddler. And Street Peddler is actually a really good card. Yep. I mean, it's good out faction. I don't play a lot of Anarch, but I've been playing a lot of Street Peddler and Shaper recently.
Oh, yeah.
But it's good in Anarch. It lets you draw. The thing is, Wildside is going to... Eventually, you're going to have the solutions in your hand.
Yep.
So if you can just kind of rush, just be bold, start rushing stuff out. I mean, and it was bold. It was arguably his most valuable agenda.
Yep.
Pushed it out early behind Enigma. He got lucky, or at least he played the odds correctly. Noise did not have a solution to it. Mm-hmm. Tried to face check it, maybe to find out what it was. Parasite maybe was in his mind, I don't know.
Yep.
But he scored out. And the second one was he kind of baited the clock, but he put it behind a wraparound and a Data Raven. So pretty secure.
Yeah, I was going to say that's reasonably well defended. And if I guess Stu's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't.
Yeah,
you've got you know, if he brings the clot out, he slows the train down, but he then still has to get in. He also puts himself at a credit disadvantage, even though it's only a couple of credits. But then he was starting to run into memory issues, like overwriting various programs when he didn't necessarily want to. And then, whilst he did go and imp the mid-seasons, Brendan's sitting there with the mid-seasons in hand, an Astro with a counter on it that he can score and do something else with the next turn.
That's it.
He's in a strong position. He had plenty of money at that point.
So he installed and advanced the Astro. Presumably, if the clot had not come out, he would have advanced and used the counter to score it.
Or he might have res the Sansan. If we assume
it was a Sansan. We never actually saw it. Yes, you might be right. Yes, maybe that was his solution. So that means even without the clot, he's still going to have 2 Astro counters on the table. Yeah, okay. And a res Sansan.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Terrifying.
That is bad. Yeah, okay. All right. So I feel like that was just strong play by Brendan. He kind of he knew the matchup. He plays a lot of Noise.
Yeah.
He knew the matchup. He's like, okay, if I get off to a strong start, and he did, then he got the early agenda out. He got money, and he just made sure that good anti-Noise cards were defending his servers.
Definitely.
Wraparound is obviously a great candidate.
Brilliant.
You know, using a David on a wraparound is the worst. Like, it's the worst.
You don't want to have to do it unless you really have to.
That's it.
And the thing is that Stu didn't have a particularly slow start in many ways. He got Wildside, he got Adjusted Chronotype, he found Aesop, he was getting money off cash and other things. It just wasn't, the momentum wasn't building, and he didn't get key cards milled, or they got put through back through with Jackson. The second Jackson that Brendan used, there was at least 2 or 3 agendas in the bin. For one reason or another, and whether it had been enough to swing things round, but probably not. But
so I guess Brendan used the Enigma early.
Yeah.
Once Faust was down, Enigma became 1 card to break on click 4 or 2. Another time. Not taxing, but annoying. So things like putting the Jackson behind it. You know, I think I like that. Like, he kept having the Jackson show up, but he didn't want to. He wasn't installing naked remotes. The fact that he was happy to use cheap ice just to impose a kind of annoyance tax.
Yeah.
If the Jackson had been undefended, you can guarantee it would have been run on.
Yep.
But if it was, because it was behind that Enigma, I mean, it just meant that Stu was not tempted to check it. You know, check what it was. It could be a pad or something. Waste of time. But I feel like it was quite good, kind of anti-noise. But he read the state and he kind of understood that Stu was struggling a little bit. He couldn't break all this ice, so he was going to be picking and choosing where he ran. He was going to get not tunnel vision, but he was you could tell he was kind of focused on the centrals. He wasn't really thinking about any of the remotes. He checked that remote when it had the advanced card in it, but apart from that, we didn't really see any remote play. So yeah, I think it was very good management by Brendan. Now, Stu actually said quite an interesting thing at the end of the game. He said, and that's my turn. So I think that he understands, like Brendan does, that I feel like NEH has probably the stronger side of that matchup. Yes. I feel like Noise doesn't disrupt NEH that much. No. I mean, he's going to have 3 Jacksons, right? Yeah. For 0 influence. So, damn it. So,
yeah, unless usually as Noise you're wanting 2 things, and this is normally against sort of fast advance rather than butcher shop. You either want to get early good agenda mills and Jackson not to appear too quickly, or you want them to leave R&D open and get a few points off a couple of turns worth of medium digging, and sometimes that can be enough. But recently I've had a couple of very close games against good NEH players, and whilst getting to 6 points early against NEH, it's a lovely feeling. Even stealing Astros, I've still not closed out the game because they just get...
NEH just wins sometimes. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so in our next video, we're going to see Brendan against NEH, and we're going to see Noise against... Sorry, Brendan against Stu, and Noise against NEH, for a change.
Yeah, just...
I don't think there's a lot to say about that, because I feel like the decks... Now, I don't think they're identical. I think there are differences. Maybe it'll be interesting to see what they are. Yep. But I think that they're very similar. They're certainly... I'm confident that... In fact, I'm pretty... If I can check here, let's have a look. So Stu's NEH is also, so 3 Scorch, 3 Traffic Accident. Yep. Like the bulk of the influence. And Brendan's Noise will definitely be very similar to that. He's a bit of he plays a lot of Virus Mill. He put in Faust because it's just good. And so that's it. So there's not a lot more to say about that. So it'd be interesting to see what happens when they turn the tables.
Yeah, and it's whether it's whether Brendan's Noise gets any luckier with his mills than Stu's did.
Yeah, good point. Okay, great. All right, so thank you, Andy, for helping me out. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.